It is a fine day, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be sunny and dry.
Did you see that?
Cold. Yeah, that's
that would have been Sunrise Extra.
I don't like this one. I'm giving it to Rod.
Hey, Rod, we have a chair for you whenever you're ready, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
That's a little
today
trippy.
we are talking about a story now that tomorrow is November 1st. It is getting into the political season. This is the last day to mail your Oregon state ballots for the special election, which is next Tuesday.
The 5th of November.
I just mailed my ballot this morning. I dropped it off before I came into work.
So we're talking about political ads on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter just announced that they will ban political ads starting November 20th. From their platform. It just makes it easier.
And this is new for Twitter because in the past they would have political ads.
You could pay for them, yeah. Facebook now being pressured to do the same, but they just doubled down on it. And it sounds like they will not be doing that. But we asked on Facebook earlier today.
I thought you meant they're going to charge double the price for those political ads by doubling down.
Well, who knows? It's a huge source of money, you know, for TV stations.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, you're not going to see TV stations ban political ads anytime soon. That's a big part of
They can make their whole yearly budget in the political season.
Absolutely.
So do you guys think that Facebook should follow suit and with Twitter and ban political ads? Do we need them?
Why? I guess the question I have,
look at the percentage, 96%.
Clearly we're okay with the political ads, or I think we're okay with them. We'd never stop doing them. We're okay with the political ads on television.
Yeah.
That's above my pay grade.
But what's the difference?
So I'm just curious if our viewers are also, they would like to see those political ads banned on television too. I'm guessing probably
sure.
So they just want to get rid of them altogether. I'm just asking, is there a difference when you're watching TV? Does it bother you any more, any less to see those political ads than when you're fanning through your Facebook page?
Yes, it's annoying to see all these commercials. The problem is when it's
online. We love commercials, by the way, on TV.
You can make ads that look like real ads from a real campaign, but it's actually fake. And click here to donate, and it's not. It's a scam.
About what you were seeing, right? Did you already say that?
There was a story, of an ad that ran on Facebook for a while, and it came out this morning that it looked like it was from the Trump re-election campaign, and it had a click to donate button to the Trump re-election campaign, and it turned out to be fake and a scam. And it's so hard to tell, Even Facebook couldn't tell in their algorithms that they didn't remove it in time. And so that's where you can kind of get in that gray area of, people believe a lot of things that they see online, but television ads are, what? I mean, they're
patrolled better?
Regulated.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the word.
Absolutely.
But wasn't you remember when the term fake news was all the rage? And wasn't a lot of...
Yeah, right.
But
when did that go away?
But when it first came out. But wasn't a large part of that whole fake news thing political ads that turned out to be phony, that were posted from agencies or countries that we didn't know those were the people posting it, and there was a lot of misinformation. If I'm remembering correctly, these political ads, the erroneous ones, were a large part of that whole birth of fake news.
Well, Russia would do posts. I don't know if they were paid for ads or not, like representing some specific campaign, but it was very extremely
and you would
misleading.
think that it was another American
headlines, like a fake news story.
The troll farms.
Oh, they can pump that stuff out super fast. So what are people saying?
Well, I just now got into feet, so I
Politics,
apologize.
yuck, no thanks.
Elisa Cox says, buyer beware.
Buyer beware.
Well, so I'm looking... Stanford Walker, a constant contributor to our feed. Good morning, Mr. Stanford. He says ban them all, and that includes the ones on TV as well.
And Terrell Davis says politics, yuck, no thanks.
Well, let me say something real quick, though. Banning all the ads, ban the ones on TV. So if you're going to do that, that's great, but there has to be something replace it where the American public is introduced to some degree to the candidates that they're going to be voting for. Right. You can't have a presidential election or a county commissioner election if nobody has any idea who these people are. So there has to be some method for us to be introduced to the candidates.
How many people though are influenced by those 30-second spots? Like, has your mind ever been changed by one of those? I mean, I would say I've been influenced by debates in the past.
Yes.
You know, a 2-hour presentation where the candidates are, you know, really digging into their hearts and soul and delivering their messages. But a 30-second ad, I've never been swayed.
But it's the psychology of it. It's like a car commercial, you know. If you hear it enough, just in passing and in your, you know, like subconscious, then you're like, oh, Toyota, you know, like that's the truck that I've heard, and you don't know where, you know, but it's like repetition. And the more you hear a certain person's name or yes on measure, whatever, over and over and over again, even when you're not even really tuning in, I think it works. Yeah.
I have soaked up information at times from ads, especially on measures, not so much the candidates, but especially on measures, where that was part of my education, be it rightfully or wrong, that I took in and helped me decide what I was going to do on election day.
And people on both sides are counting that is exactly what is going to happen. Okay, so this is one, and I do think that a number of conservatives, I have heard this, Mark said, I'm willing to bet in the end it would only apply to conservative ads. So he doesn't like what he's perceiving, and you can definitely weigh in on the stream as well. Yeah, kind of being slanted in what they put on or what they take off. Suzanne says a big yes.
And just below her, you see Ginny Carlson, a friend of the show.
Hi, Ginny. Morning.
Extra. She says, how about getting money out of all political areas altogether?
Wouldn't that be a miracle?
Let's not make it a money game.
Yeah.
Who can raise the most money? Who can put out the most ads? Sometimes that's what it comes down to.
I mean, every campaign is trying to raise so much money for these, you know, advertisements.
Isn't it partly true what a lot of us, and I'm certainly one of the many that have come to dislike these political ads, especially on television, is, you know, it's the attack ads, the negative ads. Wouldn't it be refreshing just to have a candidate say, hi, my name is such and such, I'm running for this office, and here's the 1 or 2 things that I'm most committed to. If they were purely 30 seconds of information of what that candidate wants you to think. Now, that's never going to happen.
Right.
But I think it's the negative attack stuff that turns a lot of people off more than just the thought of having a 30-second message from a candidate.
And even when it's not a flat-out lie, there are so many shades of truth. And, you know, I mean, I love when the news outlets do kind of a verify or a fact check, or the print journalists, and they go through and say, this is what the candidate said, and this is what the fact is. Because it is so hard to keep track. If you're just an average voter out there living your life and you hear something, it's like, well, I don't really know enough about that subject to make a judgment. Is that right?
Yeah. I think the networks generally do a pretty good job of that immediately following the debates on TV, you know, as part of their coverage.
When did remember the year that they started those taglines and all the ads, you know, I'm Joe Biden and I approve this message. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this. That was not always part of the game. But at some point, like in the last 12 years, that became part. Like every
I think that was a legality issue, wasn't it? I think that came up in something.
Well, because other political action committees would make an ad supposedly for or against some candidate,
you know, who was paying
and it really wasn't part of their campaign. And it could look a certain, it's all kind of optics. And so if that candidate or PAC committee says, hey, we made this, then it gets...
So Lori Morris says, ban social media. Oh my gosh, it's like flipping so fast. Ban social media political advertising. And then Bonnie says, yes, absolutely, if they aren't going to monitor the truthfulness of the ads. Get rid of them.
Gosh, it's got to be so hard with how many messages come through. I mean, think about how many trillions of tweets happen in a day, just the algorithms they have to use.
You want a comment that's definitely not right down the middle? I have one from Barbie this morning. Hello there, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Good morning. Sunrise Extra. She says, of course not when it comes to the question of should we ban political ads. She says, if they ban anything, ban liberals that get triggered over every little thing. That's the best place to start, says Barbie. So Barbie, firing off from one side of the debate.
Rob St. Helen says, ban everything.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mary says, yes, they should be banned, these political ads. And Mary adds, the news should stop being biased as well.
Yeah. I really don't see a lot of political ads on Twitter or Facebook. I don't see a lot of ads, period. I don't know. Am I looking at them? Are they on the like columns or the sides?
But I can see
or do
like
they come in your
feed.
It says promoted or something
Yes.
like that?
Like a 15-second video for a candidate could pop
But
up
I mean,
in
you
your
have to
Twitter
click
feed.
play.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
some of those are automatically when you roll through, they start
in
playing.
Facebook it does, yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I just have to, you know, on Instagram you can say if you like it or why or block it, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. Nope, nope,
Block,
no.
block, block.
Block,
yeah.
block, block.
Might as well.
Bob Bailey adding a vote
Bob.
to this discussion. He says, yes, they should be banned, those political ads. There are so many lies being told, according to Bob Bailey, watching us on Sunrise Extra this morning. Thank you, Bob.
And that's what the Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey said. That's why Twitter is banning all political ads starting November 20th.
And Director Brian Matthews, 2 days in a row, he's back there actually producing
He's
the
making
stream
comments?
and commenting.
What's he saying?
He says, seems to me that the candidate that spends the most on advertising often wins the campaign. I don't want ads on my social media.
Yeah.
If we go to black during this broadcast, it's because Brian is not
because
paying
he's
attention to his
typing.
job. He's commenting on the
themselves, and I don't always do that. It's tough to come up with the time, but you end up looking at the ballot, and I think there's some truth to the fact that people do. Well, I recognize that name,
Exactly.
and that gets the punch.
And that's what they
Or that
want,
gets the
you know,
vote,
like
yeah.
if you hear that.
Yeah, which is what
measure
Brian's saying. You spend the most money, you
enough
have the most
times.
name recognition.
Yeah.
But I mean, social media is the way that we communicate now. It's where we market, it's where we advertise, and we are not immune. That's why we're sitting here with you right now, because our
On social
company
media.
recognizes that our viewers are out there, and this is an effective way to communicate with them.
Yeah.
So that's not going to get
Yeah.
any less in
Yeah.
the future. You're going to see more of it because companies of all sorts recognize that's where the people
Now-
are, that's where the customers are.
If we could get political ad money to sponsor this live stream, perhaps we'd have a lovely fruit basket on the middle of the table.
I will
do
say
it
this.
upright.
I'm proud of our followers. We have a small band of people that watch us every day, right?
Yeah.
It's a growing number. I don't know where it stands right now. It's probably in the thousands. I'm not sure. But like Rob St. Helen, for example, is the guy who's always watching every day,
Yep.
always commenting. Good morning, Rob. St. Helen. Rob has a pretty good point here. He says, how about during those ads that they run, they actually tell us what they want and what they will try to do for us instead of attacking someone for something they did 20 years ago, because that's really what a lot of times
Well,
those political ads are.
yeah,
An attack on the other candidates,
And again, it's
not
the-
about the person themselves.
It's the attack part of these ads that I'm going to say a lot of people despise.
That's what they're turned
if
off
they
by.
were informative ads that were
Right.
more about, I'm the candidate, this is what I want to do, a little more respectful, perhaps the country wouldn't be so turned off by that.
I know. The human brain has a negativity bias, though. That's what lights us up, and
Again,
that's
yeah.
what people remember, and that's what advertisers
Yeah.
prey on.
Okay, so keep sending in your comments. Second topic of the morning, it is Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want to have some fun. So the Today Show this morning is kind of talking about the psychology of why we like to be scared.
I don't like to be scared, actually.
Just for like a little bit.
No, I don't.
Harmless scare.
I like it.
Just a little bit,
I
yeah.
absolutely
I
like
love it around. I mean, it's cold out, the leaves are coming, it's dark early, and it just is that perfect
Yep.
time. Your kids have been watching,
Yes,
you know,
all
some
kinds
good
of scary
movies.
Some inappropriate scary movies.
Like what?
Well, we watched 2 weekends ago. We watched I Know What You Did Last Summer.
What did they think?
That was scary. I said this is probably the scariest movie we've ever seen to date.
Okay.
And they agreed. And then we took it up a notch. I think this was a little Scream. And Scream is obviously campy. To me, it's not really that scary of a
I haven't
movie.
seen it.
But it was some gory parts in there. I'm looking at, you know, it's one of those things again where I look at me, just like
You're
the
like,
topic
is it
yesterday with
okay?
sex education. I'm looking at her like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
Are we being bad parents right now?
Yeah.
Like, you know, but they were way into it, but they were scared. And I love this question because it brought you back to your childhood of like, tell me if something happens here. You know, they're like, he kept grabbing, like one of my sons was like, tell me if something happens in this
Oh,
thing.
we wanted to know before.
Yeah. Just tell me what happens and then I'll watch it. No, I don't know what
you
happens.
remember? Yeah,
No, I
some
couldn't
of it.
recall.
Yeah, you can't remember.
So they enjoyed it a lot, but man, it is. At what age do you overcome that? Because I remember being
Never.
a kid.
It's-
No, I can walk into a dark house now and not be afraid that someone's going to get me.
Well,
Yeah.
sure, but I mean, like, do you kind of like to be like a little scared
yeah.
for, you know?
No, I enjoy a really scary. Like, come on, make me scared now. It's gonna be
Yeah.
harder. I'm 45 now, not 14. Make me scared.
It's
so
that
is
element
fun.
of surprise that always gets me. And it just always, if you really catch me off guard,
Yes.
I am a,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
a-
it
I'm a
just
screamer
sends
too,
me
Brenda.
through the roof. Which you did at the end of the newscast
I
today.
I don't think we can pull that up, but we will have that on our website later. At the end of our Sunrise TV show, maybe 10 minutes ago, I pulled a little Halloween prank on my friends here. And you have an excuse because you weren't with us in the studio a year ago on this day. But you
I've
were.
seen it, yeah, when you guys did the
You
same
were.
thing.
We did the same exact thing
I don't
last
even
year.
remember it.
No, it was
from last
different.
year.
Well,
No,
it was.
we snuck a person into the studio.
the exact
It wasn't the
same
same person. It was a woman from that underneath haunted house at the Coliseum.
Right, but it was still
I
somebody
do remember
outside the
now.
building.
That wasn't scary.
Right?
Yeah, but
And
they stood
so
in front of the desk
you-
and jumped up the very
So,
same. And you
okay.
guys were all leaning in. I remember the video.
So, Drew, this is how this went down. This is how I got gullible again this year.
This is good.
You left the studio. You kind of walked
For a
away,
moment.
and Nina immediately said, "Okay, who's back
up to
there?"
something.
And he
What's
goes,
going
"No,
on?"
I just have to burp. I don't want to burp in front of you."
If you had a burp, you would just let it rip.
So I walk over to him, kind of out of the studio, and I'm looking around, going, "Who's back here?
Yeah,
People from some
something's
haunted
up.
house." He goes, "There's nobody back here. I just had to burp." And I was like, "Oh dear God!" So I walked back, and I thought, "Okay, there's nobody in studio
Yes.
this year."
Yes.
And then you said, "Okay, goodbye, everybody. I want to show you my favorite scary movie
Yes.
or whatever." Wait, no.
It was Celeste.
Back up.
Yes.
Back up. Because
You want
our
me to tell the
executive,
story?
yes, you tell it.
Because then after you thought the coast was clear,
Yes.
we run this pre-produced little piece I did on the street talking to people about Halloween. So this is airing on TV for a minute and a half. During that 90-second period, our producer walks in with a camera, says, "Hey, we want to take a quick picture of the four of you that we can post on our social
And
media."
Celeste
Scary
is just
picture.
a
Yes.
straight arrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Innocent
She is
woman.
not deceitful.
No, she's an honest
I
type.
said, can we
Well,
wait
she
till
was.
after the show? We're going to have the lights off. We're going to have this cool Halloween. She was like, we need it right now. I'm like, well, this is weird.
That forced you guys to turn your
turned
backs to the
around.
action. So we
Yes.
have the four of us are turned now like this with the
Yes.
cameras behind us, and we're taking this picture. I know these three are all about getting their picture taken, so they're way focused on the camera.
Rude.
And in that moment, one of our other producers, Andrew, snuck into the studio, slipped himself right in front of the desk.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically down there.
But
where,
shows the mask.
Huh? Oh, the
The
mask.
mask,
He's
yeah.
wearing the mask. He's wearing this mask.
Yeah.
And so we get back to the live TV part after that segment aired, and I said, "Hey guys, I want to tell you about my favorite scary movie right now. You got to look at the screen. Here it comes." And these
Here's
three
the clip.
gullible types are leaning over now, staring at the screen, and then bam!
Yeah.
Andrew pops up in front of the desk, and
Yeah. It's
you
good.
left your feet. You
I
came
left
off
my
the ground.
feet. Well, afterwards, you made a comment of something like, perhaps I had wetted
accident.
myself. And honestly, I was so scared, I thought, gee, maybe I had. So I looked down to
did a little
check.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Rod's all clean. It's okay.
I mean, kudos to you. That
Yeah.
was well done.
So this
well
psychologist
executed.
that's on the Today Show talks about how it releases, like, why we like being scared. It releases a little bit of
Endorphins?
adrenaline and endorphins, and it gets us into go mode just for a little brief second, and
Yeah.
that's why we like it. Ashley Korslund, who used to be on the morning
Yes.
shift, loves going to haunted hotels for the weekend with her girlfriend, and they watch like slasher, like gross, gory
I just can't do that.
horror
And mysteries.
movies.
That's
I hate those
horrific.
things.
I
He
honestly
loves
don't
it.
like to be scared, and because of that, I really
It's
haven't.
like we have
I don't
enough
watch
stress in
scary
our
movies.
lives.
It's
I don't
just
need
something
that,
I
you know?
absolutely don't enjoy.
I don't like the gore and like something sadistic, like some of the
Yeah, it's
Saw
messed up.
movies. Like that is just I can't. I don't
Right.
want that to enter my consciousness. But I remember, back in the day when Jaden, my youngest, was I don't know, was she in like late elementary school? It had been years and years and years since I'd seen this movie, and I thought, oh, we can do a scary movie. I remember being really scared, and so we piled into our little room and we were watching it on the TV, and it was Silence of the Lambs. And all of a sudden, it came to that part where Buffalo Bill was throwing some chick in his van.
Oh,
Yes.
And I looked over, and I will never forget the look on her face.
Yeah.
I'm like, I forgot about that part.
Right? That's that's what happens. Whenever you bring
Bad
those
mom.
movies into their world
Bad,
too
bad.
soon.
Yeah.
We did that with Cujo. We let our kids watch Cujo with us when they were about 8. The Stephen
I've never
King.
seen that.
It's the dog
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
The dog turns rabbit. And I thought to myself, okay, this is just really about a dog that goes crazy.
cheesy
It's not like
kind of, right?
slasher.
Yeah.
But it is rated R, and we totally forgot, my wife and I, about the whole like sidebar story of the wife having an affair with the next door neighbor. And like that scene, I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot this was part of Cujo. I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't need to see this, boys. What is it? What is it? Let us see it.
And they
no.
want to know.
Oh my God.
We're gonna get to the next dog scene.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Sounds like it was a good affair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like cheesy, like older movies
Like
from
Friday
the
the
70s that
13th,
aren't
Halloween,
like
that stuff?
scary, just tension
Hitchcock?
and some
Yeah.
like
Psychological
Halloween
thriller.
or Friday the 13th.
Oh my gosh,
or like-
I watched Halloween because that scared the bejesus out of me when
Yeah.
I was like 16, 15.
Yeah.
But then I watched it again. It was on some.
It's very
Slow.
like slow,
so
and that's
slow.
just my speed. For
Yeah,
that
I mean,
kind
there
of
was
thing.
so much talking.
Yep.
But that was
Nothing
like.
actually happens. I mean, like,
Kinda
you know,
not.
some people kind of die, but he's very slow.
See, even in
and,
that
like,
one though, the teens are kind of frisky in that movie. Again, there's parts, I don't know why they had to throw that in there. Like, I'm trying to watch this with
Sex
my
Those are the
Murder,
rules. You just
baby.
watch Scream. Those are the rules
Yeah.
of the scary movies.
From the 1970s, to me, I think I mentioned this to you, Brenda, the other day. To me, one of the scariest movies of all time still. Like, very believable, over the top, like it's gory, and it feels real when you're watching it, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Agreed.
Early 70s, that thing.
Freaky.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Still good.
Is that like the people with
Chainsaw.
the masks?
It's one
or
guy,
something? They look
Leatherface.
like cabins?
And
Leatherface.
just that crazy family
Yes.
and
That sound.
yeah, no, I agree with you. That is
The original Psycho.
brutal.
I mean, that's so old now.
Yeah.
That is 59 years old. 59
Yeah.
years old. Right? Am I good? I think it's
Still
1960.
very creepy.
It's great job.
Yeah,
Not
Jeff
that
Lucas
scary,
says
but
The Birds.
Yeah, such the tension.
Stanford says Mommy Dearest. Oh, Jeff, I'm with you. The Exorcist. I still can't watch Demon Things.
Oh yeah.
I still haven't seen that one. Ugh.
I'll be watching a Western tonight.
Yeah, The Exorcist is one that I will not be seeing with our kids anytime soon. That's
No.
that's pretty tough.
No.
Exorcist.
The Birds is a great one though. I love The Birds. Talk about an old school like scary movie. It is long. If you watch that whole thing without a commercial, it's still like 2 hours and 30 or 40 minutes.
Hitchcock was
If you want to be
genius.
scared tonight, at the Memorial Coliseum, there's doing the final night of Underhill
Oh, right.
Haunted House. And then earlier in the day, they're doing Kids Monster Fest for little kids. And it's very, very tame.
Doable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like for the little ones, also at the Memorial Coliseum. So you can do that and then go trick-or-treating.
Is the
Ooh, I got
one
a
for the school of
2-minute
deaf
and 30-second
in Salem?
cue.
Okay,
I
she's
got
out.
to Today
Is the
Show.
deaf school up in Salem? Is that still going on tonight? Do we do it? Wasn't that in Salem?
Yeah, I don't know when. I imagine they would be
might
open
be
for
doing it
Halloween.
tonight.
Yeah, it must be. But that
Yeah,
was a great
search on our
story.
website for that one. That wasn't a really good one.
It's weird for us
Yeah.
because we're talking Halloween, and now the three of us and Brenda will go out in about an hour and shoot our first toy drive promotion of the season.
Christmas.
Oh
man.
yeah.
It's Halloween. We're celebrating Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Bye, you guys. Happy Halloween. We will see you tomorrow.